What's up, guys? It's Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. I apologize for how I sound. At the time of recording this, my little guy was sick the past week, which of course meant my wife and I got sick, and it was all a bunch of congestion, lots of coughing, lots of torn up throat feeling stuff. So I sound bad. I feel much better. Anyways, we're going to go over February 2nd. This workout will actually not repeat in the month. And it's going to be a strength day on the treads, power on the rower, endurance on the weight floor. We'll go over everything with the 2G, talk about the 3G as well, and get you on and out of here. So for today's workout, the tread is all about getting better at the inclines. Today is a day for that. It's one block with 4 rolling hills, meaning the inclines change every minute, going up and down. Your goal is to see how far you get in the first rolling hill and try to match or beat the distance each following rolling hill. For the rower, you are on the rower in block 1. Each time, build your intensity over 200 meters. And then on the floor, you have 2 blocks with high volume cluster sets where you rep, rest quickly, repeat. All right, so for the treads, we're going to tackle a 23.5 minute tread block, clearly labeled out with 4 different hills. And the way it is set up, each hill is 4 minutes, 45 seconds. So the first 4 minutes are incline work. Every minute they change. And then the final 45 seconds of it is like the plateau of the hill. It's flat road. After the flat road, they get a 90-second walk recovery. Then they start the next hill. The key thing here is we are going to track distance in the first hill for 4 minutes and 45 seconds, see how far they get, they'll walk it out, start the next hill, clear out the screen, and then they take off. Now, for all 4 hills, members choose their own speed and they adjust as needed. Inclines are also going to match up for the power walkers as well as the joggers and runners. So the way the hill works, each hill will start at a 2% incline for the first minute, go up to 8%, come down to 4%, and then the final minute of incline will peak at the highest incline for that hill, and then each hill will change. So round 1, 2, 8, 4, 14% incline. Once again, they choose the speed that they maintain. They could adjust as needed. They could walk at certain points. Once they finish that 1 minute at 14% incline, it's a flat road tread where the goal is to add some speed back to continue to cover distance, kind of simulating in Orange Everest once they get flat road and they have that final minute to take off. They'll check the distance, they get a 90-second walk recovery with almost 5 minutes of incline work. They should definitely need 90 seconds to walk before they take off again. Now the second hill, the first 3 minutes are the same, 2, 8, 4, but then it goes to 12%. They still get that 45-second flat road and then 90-second recovery. The second 90-second recovery is when you will set up the weight floor for their second block. Third hill, 2, 8, 4, 10%. And then the last one, 2, 8, 4, 8%. So as each hill loses incline during that final minute, that takes into account of fatigue, but also opportunity for increase of speed with lower incline. Now, if you have anyone on the bike or strider, they recommend to use the added gear in line with the incline. So for example, they'll start 2 gears over base, 8 gears over base, 4 gears over base, and then 14 gears over base. So knowing you have these kind of big jumps, their base for the day might be lower than anticipated, because even if they start with like 6 as their base, they're all that 14% incline is going to go up to gear 20, which that's rough, buddy. If you've never done it, that's rough. So that is something to take into consideration. That's how it's kind of mentioned in the daily beat is 2, 8, 4, and then go up. Essentially that 14, 12, 10, and then the last 8% incline should essentially be like borderline all-out effort where they might be out of the saddle. If you're not comfortable doing coaching for the bike, I highly suggest trying to get on the bike and see how it works for you so you have a better understanding of how you could bring it to life for the members. Just something to kind of be aware of. that's gonna be the tread stuff. 23.5 minutes, incline work. It's all about getting you ready for Everest. And in fact, they kind of mentioned that in the daily beat or in the webinar. They're no longer making prep workouts since we don't want members to feel like this one workout is specific to prep for a benchmark, because if they feel like they missed that prep workout, they won't be able to be successful. But really, every workout is a prep workout for benchmarks, but also for life. So Earth isn't flat, opportunity to get better at inclines. That way you can get faster at flat road and be able to hold your speed better when you have incline to tackle. So that's going to be the tread side. Now, the weight floor side, block one, we will see the inclusion of the rowers here. We're going to do work and rest cluster sets. You'll have just 2 dumbbell exercises. The first one will be 12 reps of an Arnold press. So light to moderate weight, 10-second rest, and then as many more reps as it can. If they go pretty light, they'll probably get, within 4 reps of their 12. So they'll probably get like another 8 reps more. If they're going more moderate to heavy, they'll probably hit that 12 and then only get another like 3 to 6. Really, if they could do 12 reps, 10-second rest, and do another 12, they really should go heavier to elicit that true fatigue and failure in that quick second set. Then they're going to have the bench goblet tap squat. Same thing. Do 12 reps, 10-second break, and then rep them out until you can't, then rest. For the row, it's a 200 build. The first 100 meters is at a push. The second 100, the back half, is going to be at an all-out. A couple ways you could coach it for the members. They could obviously go off of their stroke rate. So for that push row for the first 100, maybe 26 to 28. For the all-out, 28 to 32 plus. If they want to keep stroke rate consistent, it could be leg drive, 6 or 7 out of 10, and then take it up to a 10 out of 10. Split time, drop their split time by up 5 to 10 seconds or more during the second half. Lots of ways to coach it. So do what's going to be best to help set your members up for success based off of how you coach with the rowing. Block 2 is exclusively the weight floor. We're going to see reverse grip low row cluster set. So palms are away, drive the elbows back, all the way back down. If they have people with lower back issues, they could do a reverse grip row on the TRX. They could also do like a single arm variation with the dumbbells. They'll do 12, rest, do the cluster on that side, then do the other side. Of course, that's going to eat up a lot of time. And then they're going to have the single arm, contralateral, single leg, lateral step up with shift. So they'll step out to the side, come up, and then back down. They'll do 12 on one side, rest, do all of it on the others on that side for the cluster, then switch sides, do 12, rest, and then as many as they can on the second side. And they'll repeat that for 11 minutes. The finisher is their choice of either Arnold press, or they could go back to the rower for the final 45 seconds. So super fun there. That's the 2G. Now, when we look at the 3G, tread block will have 1 long block for 14.5 minutes. Rower will have 2 blocks, and then the weight floor is going to be 1 block. So when we look at the treads, they will have 3 hill opportunities. The hill will only be 4 minutes. So it will be 3 minutes of incline, 1 minute of flat road, and then a 75-second walk recovery. So incline structure follows the same as the 2G. So 2, 8, 4, 14 for the first hill, 2, 8, 4, 12 for the second hill, 2, 8, 4, 10 for the third hill. And then they do finish with that 1 minute tread at the very end. Essentially, it should feel like an all-out. They'll check their distance for that 4 minute hill, and then did they match or beat the previous ones. When it comes to the rower, what we're going to see is 2 blocks. For the first block, it's going to be a nice and simple row for distance. And then they will use that stored program for 4 minutes because we want to try to accumulate as much distance as possible. And then we are going to do a 9-minute block where they're going to try to collect that distance or do better between 2 bodyweight exercises and a 45-second all-out row. So what you want to do is once they finish that 4-minute row for distance, you'll probably have people get somewhere between 850 to maybe 1200 meters, depending on their intensity that they kind of maintain. Before they start the next block, have them tap new interval, and then just leave the screen alone. They're going to see reverse lunge to single leg knee drive. They'll do 5 on one leg, 5 on the other. Pair that up with squat jacks. If people are not comfortable doing lunges, they could do like a squat to knee drive as an option for that one. Then they have a 45-second all-out row. When they do the row, they're not using a stored program because they're going to keep collecting distance the entire time. So they rep it out for 45 seconds, rack their handle. There will be a little bit of carryover, of course. That's fine. And then they will then go into the body weight movements again. Nice and simple for that. They'll have 9.5 minutes. Their finisher will be a 1 minute all out when the treads hit that final flat road tread distance goal. Now, when it comes to the weight floor, 2 blocks, we're going to see is for the first one, just 1 block. It's going to be the cluster sets. We'll have the Arnold press, 12 reps, and then rest as many reps as possible. Take a long break. Then they have the single arm, contralateral, single leg, lateral step up with shift. And just to kind of clarify for that one, they're going to have their body set up on dumbbell on one side. That's the foot that's going to be elevated on the bench. They'll shift off, but keep the foot on the bench. And then as they step up, they'll find their balance and then come back down. So almost like a lateral step up, but the foot stays on the bench. Weight is outside the bench. They'll step up. When they step down, they shift their weight away from the bench before they shift and then come back up. Very complicated way of incorporating that shift, but you know, when you see the video, you're like, okay, nice and simple. And then they do have the reverse grip low row as a third exercise. Finisher for the 3G will be Arnold press or reverse grip low row for 1 minute. And that will be spicy because that's going to be like 15 to 20 reps nonstop. Unless, of course, they have to take breaks. There you go. That's the 3G for February 2nd. Like I said, this one will not repeat. Any feedback, let me know. If you find value in them, feel free to send me some support. If you don't find value, let me know. That way I can improve and make these better for you. Other than that, coach it down.